Fish in the Wild West is brought to you by Sandy Point Resort. Experience Sandy Point Resort's year-round lifestyle along the shores of Gull Lake in central Alberta. Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Adventure Destination International. Book your trip of a lifetime with Adventure Destination International and Thompson Camp.
Fish in the Wild West.
We've just arrived here at beautiful Twin Falls Lodge in northern Saskatchewan. I'm with Randy and Lorraine, managers of Twin Falls Lodge. Randy, what can we expect fishing-wise here?
Well, you're going to have some great pike fishing. You're going to get a lot of 30-plus fish, maybe even a 40 if you're lucky and you're good enough.
Hopefully.
And walleye fishing will be great. Numbers are amazing. We've got a few portage lakes that walk into. You'll have a fishing experience where you're the only person on a lake. They're pretty unique.
That does sound amazing. Now, Lorraine, we've talked from your past guests that we're going to probably leave here a few pounds heavier. Can you tell us a little bit about your cabins and the meals and what your clients can expect?
Well, our cabins are really quite cozy. All the amenities of home, hot running water and soft, comfy beds. Home cooking. It's all made from scratch. A fabulous cook.
I heard your desserts are second to none.
You might need to do the loop, fall the loop a few times to work off a few calories.
Let's have some lunch and get on the water and get into some fishing.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
We're just about to take a half-hour walk, 20-minute walk into a Portage lake for great walleye fishing. This is one of the trips within the trips at Twin Falls Lodge and Thompson Camps. There's so many things you can do, whether it be fly out, remote outpost camps, portage lakes, what we're going to. We've just enjoyed some northern pike fishing on the main lake from Twin Falls, but our guide Barry's taking us into this lake that's literally untouched walleye. I can't wait. And a walleye. Perfect. We've been looking for them. Had to sift through some northern pike, but this is what we're after, is literally untouched walleye. And there's some bigger ones in here, 4 and 5 pounders, and that's what we're after. We just had to set up. There's a reef right over behind me here, and Barry's been trolling us kind of around that reef. As you know, anywhere walleye love rocks. We got some weed mixed in with them, and we've just found them. That feels pretty good too. This is incredible. Again, one of the many trips you can do at Thompson Camps within your trip from the lodge. This is a beautiful walleye. These walleye are untouched. Bring them over, Barry. Yeah, we're bottom bouncing. We found them. And look at their, I don't even know how long he is, but I don't know if the camera can pick up. Like, he's not the longest. I don't even know what he is, 18, 19 inches. But how they're just solid muscle. We're fishing right on the edge of a reef. We're right on top of it now. And we're just fishing the edge. Barry's keeping us moving right along the edge as that seems like that reef is coming down, and they're just piled up there. Every time we go through the same spot, we hit one. We're gonna get a few more on the bottom bouncer and maybe set up to jig them with some big sky jigs. Here comes one more walleye. With every pass, a little better walleye. And they get up to 20 and 30 inches in here, or 25 to 30 inches in here. There's some real monsters in here, and Lodge likes to protect them. This is catch and release only. You could keep a little limit in here, but we're not. They like to leave these walleye untouched for their guests. Just another way they give back to their guests that are booking trips with them. Barry, our guide, has just jumped off. Morel mushrooms are in season right now, blueberries, and wild mint. Thompson Camp set us up with some Adventure Destination water bottles, so we're getting some fresh mint to put in our water. Another little adventure. Hold your horses, we'll be right back. Closed captioning is brought to you by Sandy Point Resort. Experience Sandy Point Resort's year-round lifestyle along the shores of Gull Lake in central Alberta. Jigging walleye off the falls. You don't think walleye aren't current fish? Have a look at this. They're so strong. This is not even a big walleye. How strong they are. Just a little guy living in this. This is awesome. We've been jigging walleye all day today. We're at another lake, walked into it, boats waiting. We had an amazing supper in the lodge, and come out here, literally 3 minutes. Literally 3 minutes or 1 minute from the lodge. The lodge is right over behind us. You can see the plane at the docks. After supper walleye, we're jigging a few walleye at Twin Falls. This is the falls that the lodge is actually named after. And if you ever believed or didn't believe that walleye aren't a current fish, this is where we're jigging them, and we've even caught them in the white current. So we're just having a blast here after supper, a minute away from the lodge. Nice walleye too. That's a beauty. Beautiful walleye in the current. Right here in the fast current here of Twin Falls. Well, here we go. And we'll get another. There's another one. I just missed one. Probably the same one. I put a new minnow on. And down he went. Oh, of course. Just beautiful. Every walleye I've held up here, they all got their dorsal fin flared right up. They're mad. We'll get him back in the water. Away he goes. Put it right down again. There's one. They come up fast. That is awesome. Careful. There you come out. Little fella, mad, we'll get him back in the water. Again, we're just out here after supper. 1 minute. You can see around the corner where the lodge is. Other guests have come in, ate supper. You can hang out in the lodge and visit, watch TV, go on the internet, or just enjoy company within your cabin. Or you can come out to the falls and jig some walleye. Conservation Corner is brought to you by Hull is Wealth, aligning your financial future so you can spend more time outdoors. On this week's Conservation Corner, I'm with Randy Nelson, the author of Poachers, Polluters, and Politics. Randy, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah, my book's about a 35-year career as a fishery officer with Department of Fisheries and Oceans in British Columbia.
There's something really unique about your book, and when you told me, I was just absolutely amazed. Where you sell the book, but where do the proceeds go?
All the proceeds from the sales of the book are going to the Fallen Officer Fund. And it's not the Fallen Officer Fund for military police, it's for fallen officers for families of fish and wildlife officers who are killed in the line of duty in North America. And it's actually more dangerous work than police work. A lot of people don't realize that. It's pretty serious work, but the stories are, some are really funny and some are really scary.
I highly encourage you to purchase a copy of the book and give back to those that keep our outdoors healthy and safe. That's this week's Conservation Corner. I'm your host, Wes David of Fish in the Wild West TV. This segment has been brought to you by Len Thompson and Northern King Lures. This segment is brought to you by Big Sky Flies and Jigs and Tourism Saskatchewan. And I got a lure that hasn't been in my tackle box very long. When you show up at Twin Falls Lodge, you get a custom-made Twin Falls Lodge Len Thompson spoon. And I tied it on. This is my 5th or 6th cast with it. I got a pretty nice pike on. Barry's put us on really nice pike here. This way to go, Barry. We again, the lodge is right there. We just come to go through our tackle box, our plain old box of lures that have never been or rarely used. And we've used everything from a bass bait weedless frog. Now we got Len Thompson on the board. We get him in the boat. They are so strong. Keep him away from the boat. Bringing it right to you, Barry. He's too big for the net. Good catch. This is awesome. It's a ton of fun. And this is something, you know, everybody can do because we all have these lures in our tackle box. I'm gonna see if I can get that out. Maybe Barry, you get that on. I'll show it for the camera. We'll show that pike. We'll give him a quick measurement and show you the lure he was caught on. There he is there. We'll get him back in the water and we'll show you 36-inch pike on the Twin Falls Len Thompson lure. Hasn't been in my tackle box very long. We'll get him in. So you saw that Len Thompson in the weeds here. I casted out a frog, floating weedless frog, a bass bait that's been in my, Barry's not even done fixing my Len Thompson. A weedless frog, bass bait that I've had in my tackle box since I was probably 6. And this was the results. This is a blast. There is no way any more trips that I do, I'm not going to take advantage of these shallow weed beds, back bays, and catch. I mean, these are beautiful, healthy pike. They're not huge, but on these baits that you never use, where's my frog? They are a lot of fun. I've got 2 rods rigged up. This one here was a weedless frog into those weeds there. I'm still using a leader, and I'm just casting them out, catching healthy pike on lures that I don't normally use. This Gear Talk is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Okay, you've just seen us land a number of great pike from, 25 right up to 40 inches. And there's a couple little tips that I've used throughout whether I'm fishing my favorite lakes at home or fly-to lakes such as Twin Falls Lodge. One thing, especially when you get followers, and we've seen a pike come up and we get excited. One, try to keep your movement, your excitement down, keep your movement to a minimum. And don't reel it in real quick and cast back out to him. Sit there and jig it, because he hasn't gone far. He's still within the area. Lots of times, especially here, we've caught, just like jigging walleye, I'll drop it right back down to the bottom and I'll jig it half a dozen times. You've seen musky anglers do the figure 8. That can also work, but this is what's worked best for me, is jigging it right back to him, and lots of times you'll get a second bite. Another thing, when you cast out, say you're just casting and you're retrieving and you get a hit, don't quickly reel it back in and cast to him. Drop it back to him. And again, open your bail, let it fall back to the bottom, and then reel again. A lot of times, it's almost like they'll come up, hit it and wound it, and try to turn back for it. But if you feel the hit and take it away from them, you've lost the fish. So just open your bail, drop it back to them, and again, retrieve real slow. Those are 2 great little tips that have helped us catch more pike here at Twin Falls at this fly-in lodge, or at home in our favorite pike lakes. Give it a try, land more pike. Hold your horses, we'll be right back. This segment is brought to you by Wild Guide Magazine and Rock Guard. This is where you get in trouble, because they want to go right under the boat. And like I say, I can't horse them around with 10-pound line. Just got to let them play out. We got a new guide today because we wore Barry out. No, he had to go to a wedding, so Cameron was grateful enough to step in and help us out. There he is here. Wow, that's a nice pike. And we just moved into one of Cameron's favorite spots. I'm ready, I just don't think he is. Here he is. Perfect. Set him up here. We just did a quick measurement on him. Cameron called him at 38, and pretty much right on the money, that's what he was. We're gonna get him back in the water and cast out for another one. Cameron's belief is where there's one, there's usually 3 of them before he'll move spots. So we'll go ahead and catch his buddy and move on to one of Cameron's next spots. There she goes, right to the bottom. And the bottom is not very far. We're only probably 5 feet of water here. So they go down, they tuck in the weeds, and they ambush prey as it comes by, which just, in that case, happened to be Len Thompson #2 Super Glow with a simple white Mr. Twister through one treble, just to give it a little more flash. We're stuck with the last cast syndrome. Every angler gets caught with it. And again, we're fishing the weeds. So we got a pretty good fish on here. We just don't know how good, because he's wrapped in this cabbage that you can see right here. And he's got me down in it again. We're just trying to move the boat closer so I don't... The worst thing you can do is just start horsing them in. You're gonna break your line off, and I only have 10-pound line on here. And I just got a glimpse. He's a decent fish. Here he is here. Trying to keep him out of that cabbage. And just let him swim. Just let your equipment do the work and enjoy the fight. This is awesome. Biggest thing is right here. He wants to go under the boat. If you let your line rub on the edge of the boat here or the bottom of the boat, That's where they'll break off. Here we go, Cameron. Oh. These big fish never pull on your rod up here. It barely fits in the net. Bring them up. Perfect. That is another great representative pike of Twin Falls Lodge. We'll give them a quick measurement here. They're all trophies. This here, roughly 36. Probably 35 and a half, but we're all fishermen. We'll go 36. Again, we're just casting a variety of lures here. The Len Thompson's been outperforming everything. Just literally minutes from the lodge. And there he goes. And it's just so much fun. We've spent a week here at Twin Falls Lodge. We've caught our trophies, our 40 pluses, our 5, 6, 7 pound walleyes. And now we're just out enjoying. Again, we've gone through a variety of our lures in our tackle box. We're just in these bays having a ton of fun. Our trip to Twin Falls Lodge in beautiful northern Saskatchewan has come to an end. We caught some monster northern pike, walleye. We had some great experience portaging into northern lakes within the lodge. I highly recommend when you book a trip of a lifetime to Twin Falls Lodge, bring a variety of gear and enjoy your time on the water catching northern pike of all sizes and just having a lot of fun with family and friends. That's this week's episode of Fish in the Wild West TV. Join us next week for another amazing adventure. As much as I love this, we've been here till that pike bit my hook off. We're done. We're done. We've been here for 25, 30 minutes and caught probably 25, 30 walleye. Now that pike just took my big sky. I want to go home.